Welcome to Dakota Growing. I'm Kelsey Deckert, your horticultural agent here in Burleigh County, joined in the radio access studio by my co-host Tom Kalb, NDSU Extension horticulturalist. How are we doing today?
Doing great.
Loving that.
What is
snow.
that? What's going on here? Come on.
It's spring, just about. The weather's a little temperamental.
When's it gonna end? Come on.
I don't know. I'm hoping this week with the warm up, the warm up comes.
That's it.
Stays.
It's gonna be like that.
Maybe not necessarily like those warmer temperatures, but quit with the snow. I mean, moisture's always good, but I'm tired of the muddiness at my place every couple days.
Yeah.
Just a slop hole.
Yep. I agree. But, I always say about precipitation is precious. That's true in North Dakota. But
we could be burning up like our neighbor state.
Yeah,
That's
my home
scary.
back in Minnesota got a lot. Yeah.
I was talking South Dakota, Custer's burning up.
What's burning?
Like the hills.
You mean like
Fires.
fire?
Yeah, really bad. But yes, what did Minnesota get?
Oh, they
this
got like
last
10
weekend?
inches of snow. They got huge snow
Yeah.
at our farm. So I'm not complaining. There's nothing I can do about it. So
That's right.
just got to
We
roll
just
with it.
talk about it.
Love it or leave it, North Dakota.
That's right.
So I'm going to love it.
So today, St. Patty's Day.
That's right.
I got
Happy St.
some-
Patrick's Day.
Yeah, happy St. Patty's Day. You got your greed. I got
You
my
got it.
greed. You're
Yeah,
a little dark.
I guess.
Shameful.
It's like the Emerald Isle.
Sure.
Many shades of green.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Well, should we just get things started,
Yeah.
you think?
What do you want to talk about today?
Okay, I'm going to talk about companion planting.
Beautiful.
I don't think we've featured that yet.
It's kind of a
on the
trendy
show.
topic.
It is a trendy topic.
People ask me all the time about it.
And what do you tell them?
I say, well, it's a nice topic,
Great.
and I'm really looking forward to
ahead
your
and try it.
presentation, Kelsey, so I can learn more about it.
Maybe I can
about that?
sway some of those thoughts, huh?
I think, to be honest, I think one thing that's really useful about it is nowadays a lot of gardening is done in like containers and raised beds. So it's more intense planting.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people, they still want a lot of different types of herbs and vegetables, but they only have a little bit of space actually in that raised bed.
Right.
So how can you position those plants so that they don't interfere with each other?
That's good.
Is that right?
Yeah.
See.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what you got to say.
Yeah, let's just start off. So, what is companion planting? So, just like you said, maybe we're going to have some technical difficulties, maybe not. The close planting, just like you defined it, of different plants that enhance each other's growth or protect each other from different pests. The easy definition of that is plants that make good friends in the garden, hence the name companion. But when you do go out and you look at some of the research articles that have been done there, rather than companion planting, they'd rather say intercropping.
Well, intercropping's been around for longer
Right.
than me.
In agriculture, right? So
That's
we're just
right.
going to take it from the field to the garden.
It's all packaging, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all.
Companion planting sounds nicer.
I think so. Like I said, make good friends in the garden.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's right. Okay, so what are some benefits that if you were to go ahead and do companion planting? So again, you can increase your garden productivity, you can save space, you can enhance your soil health, and you can help with that pest management. So a lot of the practices that are done in companion planting and stuff is basically more of a result of knowledge that's been passed down through generations. But there has been some different approaches that is backed by research. So I know you've probably went out and read all the research articles, right?
No, I've done intercropping before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you believe in it.
Yeah, if you have limited space, you want to make every inch count in
That's
that
right.
raised bed. And so I'm sure you'll give some examples.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so one of the extensions that did do some research was an Iowa study. Basically, they had 5 different vegetable species and 5 companion plants. They noted that anytime they had abnormal weather conditions, produced anomalies, especially with like disease and insect infestations, which would make sense. And then, of course, their results were non-conclusive. But basically, they said they felt there was evidence that the planting of those multi-species, I know we just talked about this ahead of time, right? Together will always...
See, I told you.
I know. Always invite less pest pressure to a single crop.
They felt it was true after doing the research. They felt it was true. It was not conclusively true, but they just feel it's true.
Yes.
That's okay. As long as you're not biased. It's okay. It goes on a feeling.
That's right.
Intuition.
That's right. They said one of the things that was pretty, I'll talk about some of the notable results they had, but like planting their marigolds around the zucchini plants significantly reduced the damage from squash bugs and striped cucumber beetle. So definitely, again, that pest pressure is where they've seen a lot of it. Okay, so some notable results that I have shared here is marigolds, especially the African and French. Their roots will produce a biochemical that's toxic to root nematodes. And so this benefit was actually noted in the study after the marigolds were grown as a cover crop and then tilled into the soil. So not necessarily up as a companion plant right there.
Actually, the African is what most people consider the tall marigolds. And the French marigold are
short?
They're shorter ones in general. And actually, I don't know what these Iowa people were doing, but French marigold has widely been used as a cover crop to destroy soil nematodes. Okay. So I think that's been proven for
they just
decades.
Wanted to add it.
Well,
add a bonus, I guess.
Yeah, but okay. So I believe there seems to be truth, and like also you got to be a little bit cautious because a lot of the marigolds have less of those chemicals. They've been breeding that out of them. Like African marigolds, like they don't smell as bad as they used to. And so because people don't grow marigolds for nematode control, they grow them for beauty.
That's right.
And bouquets.
That's right.
So.
Okay, so then the other couple notable results they had was dill and coriander. So their flowers encouraged predators of the Colorado potato beetle and were successful in reducing damage to eggplants. Okay, again, this is just their notable results. And then sweet alyssum, is that how you say that? Alyssum, sorry about that.
Yep.
Resulted in more hoverfly larvae and fewer aphids in your lettuce fields from this study. So again, this is just one study that they did out there that actually, again, extension, some research to show you a little bit about companion planting.
Well, at least it didn't attract more Colorado potato beetles.
That would have been, I don't think they would have shared that. Either that or the study wouldn't have been something that would have been published.
The thing with the eggplant, it is interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever grown? You've never grown eggplant.
No, I don't like
You're not an eggplant
No.
person.
No, the nightshade family.
Yeah, that's right. It's tomato cousin, your favorite. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how Colorado potato beetles love eggplant.
And you would not,
You wouldn't think potatoes. It's got to go after potatoes. But not many people grow eggplant. But if you do,
They got little thorns on them, too, don't they?
Yeah.
Like sharp,
There's spines on them. But they're breeding that out of them, especially on the calyx, the top of the fruit. That can be a little spiny. But that's being bred out of it. And, so actually eggplant's very beautiful, even just to look at.
I don't disagree
just like
with
the
that.
marigolds.
Yes. Do you eat eggplant?
It's not my favorite. I wasn't raised on it, but my wife definitely likes eggplant.
Incorporated into your stir fries and stuff?
Yeah, she, especially the long eggplant, the long Asian types. I think that's the way to go. Okay. More uniform slicing, and they're beautiful too. So nice and glossy.
Yeah.
But Okay. At least these companions are good neighbors.
Yeah.
They're not bad neighbors. They're not causing trouble.
I'm going to talk about
can say
some
that for
good
sure.
neighbors and then some bad neighbors.
Oh, there's
as
bad
well.
neighbors too?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there are. There's
there
bad neighbors. It's a life lesson we got here.
That's right.
Love it.
Okay, so one of the first benefits I mentioned was saving space. So the recommendation would be plant those early short season crops with later maturing. Again, this is that succession planning and stuff.
Right.
The idea by the time that early one is harvested, then there's a canopy for that later season. It's going to help with, again, weed management, kind of keep that ground, everything like that. So some
Definitely.
good examples,
Like green onions or radishes. You know, you put them in and with your tomatoes.
Yeah.
And you just dot them full of those green onions and radishes, and then they're done. Like there's a lot of open land there. The tomatoes just getting started. And then you harvest your green onions and your radishes, and the tomatoes rearing to go. So you didn't waste that space.
That's right.
I love it.
You got this.
It works.
Soil health. So by planting different crops with different root structures, you can help aerate the soil, and it also can allow plants to pull nutrients from different parts of our soil profile. So like your taproot, like a carrot, potato, that's going to help break up some of that compact soil, while more of your deep-rooted plants, such as like a melon or tomato, is where they can pull a little bit deeper in that soil profile. And then, of course, you have to say adding the legumes in there, will fix that nitrogen from the atmosphere, could help possibly reduce some fertilizer needs as well.
Yeah.
So, very good.
It's legitimate.
Yes. You also have your mutual support. So, again, I have on here your most famous model is the Three Sisters. They're going to offer, they can offer shade, they can act as a windbreak, they can support each other for the need of staking or trellising. So that corn stalk ideally is going to be the trellis for the beans. Also can be used as like a visual deterrent for different squash insects such as like vine borers, right? Can help with that. You're going to say no, but that's okay. Your beans.
I mean, if I'm a vine borer.
You're just going to climb right up, huh?
No, I'm a moth, a clear-wing moth, so that's what I am when I'm laying eggs. So I'm going to scent, I'm going to have a scent of that squash. That's what attracts me.
The pheromones.
I don't think they can just scent the plant, the squash gives off a scent that the insect is attracted to.
Like
Same
perfume.
with like cabbage and those whiteflies. How can they find that my one cabbage plant every year, So I don't know if corn's going to stop
help with that,
but
maybe not.
But I like the thing about but what you're saying is how these three types of vegetables complement each other. Mm-hmm. And like the squash is a mulch too. That's a nice thing it does. And
they say the squash too. And I remember like when we did our tour at Minokan Farm, like how much it vines can kind of help keep maybe some of those like mammals out of the corn.
Yeah. That includes, no, that is true because of the prickly vines.
Right.
So that's used to deter like deer, and those two-legged critters are very harmful. They don't like the squash vines prickliness either. That's what So that's, I mean, there is, it's an interesting, and like that Three Sisters, what I really liked is that they complement each other in the ground, but also on the plate or as a source of human nutrition.
Yeah.
And so that's how like a lot of Native Americans survived for centuries with that complementary production and consumption. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that's a good aspect to mention. So insect management is another one. So again, I have your marigolds. You're just telling me that they're getting bred out of smelling so pungent, but they can emit.
It's still there.
Well, and I know like my grandma and some of the older people, they swear by the marigolds, right? Like they always put them around the edge to help their gardens. I don't know.
Yeah. You see, here's the deal with if you're trying to use for pest control. There's three
Go get
ways.
some insecticide.
Exactly.
Go get the heavy guns.
There's three ways to control a pest. Most effective way, kill it.
I was gonna say
Insecticide, okay? In this case. Second most effective way, exclude it. Put up some barrier, some physical barrier.
Yeah.
And then the third way is what, like you're talking, the less effective way is repel it. And so that's what that would be the marigold strategy, is repel it with that, what do you call it, fragrance or scents or the chemicals in the marigold.
Yeah.
But that's like, it's more effective than nothing. But if I'm a bunny and I see lettuce next to that marigold ain't going to stop me from hopping
right
all
over.
Barney. I'm going to eat that lettuce.
That's right. Well, the other thing, like marigolds, they can attract some of the predators, right? You could have, provide that habitat to attract your predator insects. That will helpful.
Okay.
Right? And then, of course, visually distracting. So just, again, some of the insects, if you can get some plants, different colors, textures, less height, make them a little less attractive.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, let's say if you put all the plants of similar family, like if I put my tomatoes and eggplants and peppers all together, all of a sudden that just could become a magnet for pests because there's so much of that particular plant that's susceptible. But if I have my tomatoes, let's say with my basil and with my beans, then it's all kind of dispersed, so it's not really such of a magnet.
Right.
So, yeah, that's
less than that. The other thing they talk about is called trap crops.
Right.
So sacrificial crop. Basically, it's going to attract insects that are away from your primary crop. So some of the common ones would be like radishes. Radishes are going to be a very quick growing vegetable. It's one of the easier trap crops to grow.
Get those flea beetles.
That's exactly where I was going with that. Yep.
Nasturtiums.
Thank you. I'm having a hard time today. That, again, is going to attract those flea beetles and aphids. Mustard. A lot of insects that are in, like, our cabbage family and stuff actually like mustard more than cabbage. Sunflowers, they help with stink bugs and aphids as well. And then, like, your stinging nettles. It's not really a crop itself. That does attract a broad spectrum of insects, both beneficial.
So you're saying all the bugs will go there and stay out of your garden because it's so attractive to be with those mustard greens.
I think that's what you are doing with your lawn, essentially, right?
With
like
my
your
lawn.
Neighbor's lawn is very attractive. Yours is a trap.
Mine's terrible. That's very true. We don't have to talk about that this episode, please. So what's
it's a decoy.
Yeah, it's a decoy. So I would say the best thing is to give your neighbor free mustard green seeds, free sunflower seeds, and free stinging nettle seeds. So they all go to your neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
That's the best way. But then also, Kelsey, what you do with that trap crop, it really does get a lot of bugs. And then, like for organic growers, you can kill the bugs over there in the trap crop. You can just... Okay, you're having fun with the mustard greens. You're all there. Okay, I got you cornered.
Today is the day.
I'm going to blast you guys. So they're all dead.
Yeah.
There you go. My crop's so beautiful.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay, so the next, I won't go into great detail, but just to share some of our, like a companion chart that you can find a lot of different companion charts. This one, I believe, is from West Virginia University. So just showing you asparagus pairs well with tomato, basil, parsley. Again, I'm not going to go through all of these. Talks a little bit about some of those that are not compatible. And these are just showing a lot of our popular ones, what they would work with.
Yeah, you see, like, just in that top one, just point out one. So, like, that eggplant.
Right.
It doesn't want to be next to a potato because of that Colorado potato beetle. Yeah. So they should stay away from each other.
That's right. So some that they say are your best companion plants that work out there would be like basil. You see a lot of herbs on this slide, but basil, if you do plant it with tomatoes and stuff, that's going to repel some of the thrips, talks about, deter moths. Also, it's going to attract a lot of bees, which hopefully can improve pollination around there. I don't know if it attracts any more than a tomato plant, but...
Yeah, tomatoes, nice thing about tomatoes, they really don't need insect pollination.
Yeah.
They're more pollinated by wind. But I hear what you're saying. You know, a lot of people say basil and tomato are a good combination.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot. And also it makes a good tomato sauce, too. Combination.
salsa, maybe. Not salsa.
Because you got to add some basil,
Yeah.
in the tomato sauce. There
That's
you go.
right.
So
That's right.
Again, just like the Three Sisters.
There you
Good in the garden, good for dinner. There you go.
Yeah. Dill, another one. It's going to
Yeah.
attract ladybugs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you got your hunter. It's going to attract the
That's
hunter and
right.
the others.
Those ladybugs are vicious predators
right.
eating the bad guys.
Yeah. So again, I won't go through all of these, but again, these are some of your top companion plants. And I mentioned not all are compatible. So we talk about this aleo again.
Allelopathic.
See, I tried to listen to pronunciation this morning to try to get that embedded in my brain, but not my best suit out there. Okay, so this has the capability to chemically impede vital systems of competing plants. So like they say beans don't pair well with the onion family. Potatoes and sunflowers, because sunflowers, their seeds have a chemical that prevent them from fully maturing. Sounds like sunflowers have this,
it's a protective.
throughout their whole plant, not just the seeds.
Oh yeah. There's plants have some plants have allelopathic qualities, and that means they give off toxic chemicals, often like through their roots.
Yeah.
That they can. And so it's like a natural herbicide. It's a way that the
Yes.
plant protects itself. Like black walnuts are famous for.
Right here, I got
there you
walnut
go.
on the next one.
Yeah, that's famous. You can't plant a tomato near a walnut tree because the walnut. All of a sudden, you'll go out to your garden one day in the middle of summer, and your tomato plant will be all wilted. And you go, "What the heck happened?" And it just happened that tomato root came into contact with that walnut root, and the walnut gives off toxic chemicals to It does. Some plants want their space. They
don't want friends.
They don't want companions. They say, stay away.
wanna be
I want to
single."
live. I'm going to survive. Stay off my turf, tomato
right.
plant. That's true.
Yeah, so they say sorghum and sunflower is similar
I believe
to
that. Definitely.
walnut. Like you said, I would say that's one of the most popular questions I get too.
What's
Once
that?
or twice a year, planting a black walnut tree. And do I have to be careful of how far away,
Far.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
60 feet.
Well, people need to understand those root systems are extensive, right?
And also, black walnuts are marginally hardy here to
I
begin
know, not
with.
a top notch
So,
to pick.
Yeah, I try to find something else. That's what I'd go. Think about elms.
There you go.
Don't need a black walnut.
That's true. Okay, so lastly, just to wrap this up before we jump over into our St. Patty Day talk,
That's
I guess.
right. You got it.
If this is something you consider doing, basically some questions and stuff just to help is, one, if you can identify any of those known issues or improvements that you think could be made in your garden, and then go ahead and look at some of those companion plants. There's so many resources out there, even books, whatever you want to look at. Look at some of those that would be able to help with that. And then basically, like I said, a lot of this, not a ton of research out there, so it's a lot of generational knowledge that gets passed down.
That's
so
true.
it's you to determine whether or not it works, if you got some
That's right.
companions.
That's right. Of course, there's a lot of bad information out there. And
There
so
is.
usually when I look for garden information, I prefer to find something that has a university
Right.
component to it. But I think also, as you said, there's a lot of, historically, whenever there's like a new ideas and such, sometimes university people are kind of set in their ways.
Yeah, not
and
accepting of it.
such as myself. I'll speak for myself. And so we're not always the cutting edge people. So, but I like the idea of just experimenting and learning year after year what works, what doesn't work.
That's right.
You can't learn if you don't try.
That's true.
So I like it.
Okay, well, let's switch gears.
I really like
It
that
is-
idea for raised beds.
it
That's
is,
so important.
St. Patty's Day and all.
Today is St. Patrick's Day.
That's right.
Let's get going.
Are you going to have a green beer later maybe to celebrate?
Not a green
Not
beer.
a green.
No
Just
need
keep it
to.
plain.
No need to have a green.
No need to have that dye.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
I'm a healthy guy. We're going to talk about garden Blarney. So get ready. You know what Blarney is?
Well, I mean, I guess let's have you define it here.
Well, I think generally it's kind of like nonsense.
Yeah, you're
but
full of Blarney.
That's right. But it's spoken with eloquence. So I've been told that I'm full of Blarney. So you can decide whether or not after this talk if I'm full of garden Blarney or not.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to talk about Ireland. Why? You can take a man out of Ireland, but you can't take the Irish out of a man.
And you're Irish?
I'm 50% Irish.
Okay.
And but the Irish, in my soul, probably 99% Irish. I love Irish culture. I love Ireland. I was thinking about doing a sabbatical there once at a university in Ireland. Just the culture, it just sings to me, the songs and the beauty and green. God.
So a retirement place?
Yeah, but I don't know if my wife will come with me. That's the problem. She doesn't like. See, Ireland is kind of cool.
Dreary, right?
You know, it depends.
Like it rains
it
a lot?
depends. Just about half the days. That's it.
Half the days.
Okay, about half the days are wet. We say in Ireland.
Yeah.
And it's like 60s in the summer, and 40s in the winter.
40s in the winter sounds nice, doesn't it?
Even if it's wet.
Here? Yeah.
So I can deal with that. Okay. And the people are so kind, at least the ones I met when I was there. So here we are today, Kelsey. Robins are coming in town, and they're saying, what the heck? How did we get here so early? But don't worry, robins like St. Patrick's Day, too.
Do they?
Yes. Because St. Patrick's Day is an enchanted time of day to begin transforming winter's dream into summer's magic.
Wow, that sounds like poetic.
These are all Irish sayings. These aren't my sayings. Okay, this is real Blarney I'm talking about right here. Yeah, and so the magic of Ireland. Just look at the Emerald Isle there. Just beautiful green. All that, the clouds, as you say. You know, they get about 3 hours of sunshine a day. 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, it's great for your skin. You know,
just 3 hours.
They don't eat. They have beautiful, soft skin. You know, it doesn't get all, crusty.
Crusty.
Look at that beautiful Ireland. Look, it just takes your breath away, huh?
It is very green, beautiful. Which is what we're all longing to see right now.
You got that right. Or how about that? Sometimes this is like around the western part of Ireland, my favorite place, and around the Kerry, the Ring of Kerry. You drive around the Ring of Kerry, and you just take a turn on the road. Oh my gosh, look at this! What is this? Just all kinds of shades: olive green, Kelly green, forest green, all kinds of greens. And then you see those old castles.
Yep.
It's old. Ireland's old. Do you know that? It is the old world, and we are in the new world.
Okay.
America is just a baby. Do you know that? 250?
Baby compared
250?
to... Yeah, 250 this year.
This is
That's
like
right.
2,500. This is, this is old Ireland. Look at that. So rough and rugged. It's an island.
Yep.
The cliffs. Beautiful. I was right here. I remember this right here. And you're looking out at the Atlantic Ocean, and then you see the sun going down. And you're just thinking, here we are in Ireland, the sun's going down, but it's morning time in America. Yeah. And I can just imagine, it made me think of, again, my Irish heritage. I was thinking, I just thought about those Irish mothers whose children had to go away because of the famine, the Great Famine. And how, when they saw the sun come down, they could almost feel like they could see America and hope that their children are doing well.
That's depressing right there, but yeah.
What do you mean? That's right, but in America...
That's right.
Okay, listen, here you are, you're starving to death.
Yeah.
Okay, but now you're in America, and you can get a job.
That's true.
So America was the land of hope. It's always been the land of hope.
I know.
But it would make you sad as a mother that your children are gone.
It'd be very depressing.
Yeah. We're not going to be depressed here today, Kelly.
No, let's keep the positive, that bright green.
Yeah, this is beautiful. And so this is another Irish saying, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. So you go to Ireland, your breath is going to be taken away so many times with natural beauty. You know, this is one respect like North Dakota. Like, when you go some out there in the West, you can just like drive and you see, well, wow, look how natural and beautiful these prairies are.
Yeah.
It really is. It does take your breath away if you just pause for a moment.
It's even nicer if you're riding horse.
Not if you're the horse trying to carry, some 200-pound guy around. Ireland, the climate is so much. That's a palm tree.
That is a palm tree?
Palm trees. Palm trees can grow in Ireland. This is proof of it.
That does not look like a typical palm tree.
Well, it's not a Florida palm.
Yeah.
It's called a cabbage palm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
it.
I'm just giving you, you see the snow?
Nope.
Exactly. No snow. It's palm trees. That's why I want to go there. Okay, I'm going to give this talk today in honor of this person. It's my mom. 100% Irish, the kindest and most caring person I ever met. And 100% Irish.
So she's got a good Irish last name?
Lynch.
Oh, Lynch.
Lynch, you got that right. And she married a German, my dad, and it was kind of controversial,
Yeah.
Those two cultures, they didn't those parents weren't sure about it. Do I really want my German son marrying no Irish girl?
Yeah.
But my mom was very kind and caring, and I'll love her forever. You know why? Because my mother held my hand for a little while, but she holds my heart forever. That's another Irish saying. It's very true.
I was going to say, I would agree with that.
Yep. My mom's favorite plant was clover. And clover is very popular and has a history of St. Patrick, right? Because St. Patrick used clover and other types of legumes to show the three leaves. And then they say, let me tell you about God. That's what St. Patrick said.
Yeah.
He said, there's the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. They're three, but yet they're one. And so that was one of his teaching tools that St. Patrick used, the saint of Ireland.
There he is.
Yep. Okay, speaking of clover, I think the biggest hot thing now with clover is those bee lawns.
That's true.
Right? People want to plant clover now.
Pretty trendy again.
It is just like companion planting.
Yep.
You got that right. And bee lawns have just about as much truth in them, too. If you like a bee lawn, you got to choose the right ingredients. And the most popular ones are a combination of Dutch white clover. It's not such an aggressive clover, not such a tall clover. And then you mix it with fine fescue, a fine leaf fescue, which is a pretty popular, it's not Kentucky bluegrass, but it's a pretty popular long grass, especially in shady areas. And now, these usually the more diversity is better, so you have more blooms throughout much of the year. So in North Dakota, they're talking about adding some yak yarrow to it, the mix, because that also blooms and will provide some pollen for bees. Bee lawn is best established in the fall, just like all lawns, but it can be sown in the springtime. So how do you do it? One of the easiest ways, if you already have an established lawn and you want to put in an area for a bee lawn, you just mow your lawn as low as you can. Just scalp it. And then get a core aerator there, because you got to disturb the soil, and then you can overseed with the clover and the fine fescue, okay? And if you're successful, your lawn will look like this. So, they say a lawn is a food desert for a bee.
Yeah.
No flowers. But this is like what's this called? Smorgasbord for bees? It's just like everything. A buffet. All you can eat buffet. Yeah. That's an all you can eat buffet.
The Golden Corral there, huh?
There you go. But not much diversity though.
No.
That's why they're talking about adding the yak yarrow. This is a yak yarrow. But I don't know. What do you think about if your lawn looked like that? What would you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think I really want the yarrow in there. I mean, mine has like some clovers in it, some alfalfa, and that's fine. It keeps it green.
Yeah. Not so much.
That's not as attractive.
Kind of looks like a weed patch. Kind of looks like my yard a little bit. Okay. Maybe I didn't know my lawn is a bee lawn.
Yeah. You could identify it as a lot of things.
I gotta get a sign. There's a certified bee lawn, and everybody will be happy.
That's right.
Okay, what's so good about a bee lawn? It supports the pollinators. Bees love bee lawns. And fine fescue and clover are less aggressive, so you mow them less frequently. That's good. And like you talked about, like some like beans and stuff, legumes, including clover, they can make their own nitrogen. So you don't have to put as much fertilizer, and you don't have to use as much water. And generally speaking, like especially clover, it stays pretty green in the summer, so you have a greener. So those are all good things.
Good traits.
What's the bad things about a bee lawn?
There you go.
How do you
number
control
one.
weeds? Like, let's say I got some creeping Jenny in my bee lawn. How am I going to control that? Because if I spray for it,
Right.
I'm
You're
going to
be.
might kill my clover.
Yeah.
That's not good. So you have to use spot spraying very carefully. A bee lawn is not that tolerant to wear and tear. Like if you got kids.
Yeah.
Also, they could get stung by a bee. If they're allergic to bees, maybe not for you.
Probably not for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not for you.
If I had a really small lawn, I might do it, but not for a big lawn. Ragged appearance like that yak yarrow, man.
Yeah.
And then the last one, neighborhood issue. Neighbors may not appreciate your bee lawn. They don't care about bees, probably.
Incompatible neighbors.
Incompatible. That's
Not
right.
companions.
That's right. It could be an issue, but that's why communication is important. So
Yeah.
you can just tell your neighbors about what you're doing and how important it is. How about a four-leaf clover?
Yeah.
You think that's real?
No.
No. Is there a four-leaf clover? Yes, there is. 1 out of every 5,000
Oh,
clovers
wow.
is a four-leaf clover.
That's why it's lucky.
1 out of 5,000. That's right. A four-leaf clover, a best friend is like a four-leaf clover. It's hard to find and lucky to have.
Gosh, lots of words of wisdom today.
Yeah, man,
I love it.
I got the Irish coming out on me
Yeah.
today. So what if you find a four-leaf clover? What are you going to do?
I would say you want to hold on to it.
So a lot of people pick it and then they like press it in a book or something. No, you should not do that.
Oh, bad luck?
Never iron a four-leaf clover. You don't want to press your luck.
That's true.
Don't do that. Okay. The type of clover that a lot of us see now is at garden centers, like these shamrocks. It's a shamrock quotation mark. It's not really a shamrock. It's oxalis, like closely related to spinach, if anything. But don't eat it. It's toxic. And you see the flowers. Nice. And one of these kind of plants are kind of the coolest thing about them is they fold at night. They all droop. The leaves, whoop, and then when it's sun, whoop.
It's like they're resting, right?
It's kind of, they never really said, well, I think it's to preserve their water.
Right.
They transpire less. When they droop down.
Yeah.
And there's no need. There's no sunlight. Like it's like solar power collectors. Like if there's no solar power, there's no sunshine, why are we open? Let's shut down for the day.
That's right.
Makes sense. And they come in all different colors, purples, greens, and so they're very pretty. And now they're at garden centers, so now's a good time to get one. Probably tomorrow's even a better day.
I was going to say 50% off, 70% off.
They're a fun plant.
They are. I like the purples a lot.
Yeah,
Pretty.
me too. That's right. And if you've got a shamrock plant, give it bright light, but like it's on the cool side. So like maybe like a bright east-facing window. And they're easy to grow. They're kind of easy going, like the Irish are. You can allow them to get crowded. They have tubers underneath them, and you don't have to repot them every year. Just they can take a lot of crowd, and they can stay in the pot for a long time. And you'll notice that in fall, your plant is just going to shut down. It's going to kind of die off.
Hibernate, huh?
It wants to take a nap, and naps are important in Ireland, just so you know. And then all you got to do is let it nap.
Just leave it be, huh?
Just put it like down in the basement, and then after about 2 months of sleeping, it'll just start to show new growth. Okay,
Wow.
You're ready to wake up? Let's go. So it was kind of sick. It was kind of droopy, but then sleep restored it. And this happens in Ireland. A good laugh and a long sleep are the best cures in case there's something wrong. Just take
Again, very valid.
That's right. Just laugh. Maybe have a beer and take a long nap. Okay, last thing to talk about Ireland has to do with got to talk about the Irish potato famine.
Very much.
And actually, that's why I'm here, because of the Irish potato famine. If it wasn't for Irish potato, it was good and bad about the Irish potato famine.
Yeah.
The good part is I got to go to America. My family did. And if it wasn't for the Irish potato famine, I wouldn't be on this show today. I would be on Ireland growing, not Dakota growing. So there was a benefit to the famine. But you got to know about I got to talk about this famine.
Yeah, give us some
just for a little
history
bit about this. It's important to my heritage. You know, Ireland, it's an old place, but actually it's not that old of a country. You know, it's only about 100 years or so old. It was like a colony or a territory of England, Great Britain.
Okay.
It was a territory. And it was full of British landlords and Irish peasants. Okay? The British owned everything. And the Irish people all got a little piece of land. They were peasants, poor peasants. They were treated poorly. They were treated not quite like slaves, but pretty close. So most Irish families, they rarely ever got any money. They just were allowed a piece of land, and they could be evicted whenever the British landlord wanted to. And the British landlord wasn't even there. British landlord's in England having a good time, you know. But they had their middlemen here who were controlling the Irish families. So they were treated very poorly. And after a while, like if you have a plot of land, and let's say you have 3 boys, when you die, you got to split up that land in 3 portions.
Yeah.
So after a while, the plots get pretty small. And so it ended up that the only food that the Irish could survive on was potato, because that was the most nutritious food that would grow there. And so they had a couple of varieties of potato, including the famous lumper, a lumpy-looking potato that was very productive, and it could tolerate wet soil and poor soil. And so that's what they all ate, because they had to survive on that little piece of land they had. So, but then came the disease, the late blight, Phytophthora. And here's a picture that shows that moment when they noticed that the potatoes see them on the ground, they're stored, that they're getting full of late blight. And so that means they see that and they go, oh my God, see that mother at the right? She knows what's going to happen. That's their food. These guys have no possessions. They're literally dirt poor. So here's a picture of that late blight Phytophthora. It's still a problem today. Well, that's the problem. They would trim it off and try to eat something of it. But then, and actually, it got so bad sometimes that they had to eat their seed crop. So after a few years, they're all starving. After a couple of years, they're all starving to death. There you go. There was 8 million people in Ireland at the time of the famine started, like 1845. And within about 5 or 6 years, we went from 1 million of them died from starvation and disease. 1 million. Unreal. Just like that. And then 1 million, well, a lot over 1 million were evicted, or they had to leave and emigrate to other countries to survive. So that's the mother waving her children goodbye. The terrible thing about this, in my opinion, is there's starvation on the island.
Yeah.
But this boat is not only has people in it, it has crops in it, it has food in it. Ireland was an exporter of food. Exporter. So their own people are dying to death.
And they're giving away the food.
The British are sending the food to make money, while the Irish people are starving to death. So, and then the British people, some of them say like, oh, this was God's will to solve the Irish problem. But really, the whole situation was God brought the blight, but the English government brought the famine.
Yeah. Because
this blight was all throughout Europe. It wasn't just in Ireland. It was everywhere in Europe. But you don't hear about like the Dutch famine.
No.
Or the French famine. Only the Great Famine of Ireland. And that's because all those other countries took care of their poor people. But the British did not take care of the Irish.
Well, good thing you don't live in Britain, huh?
I don't know, just telling the truth, man.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's the way can you imagine they're exporting food on the same boats that they're exporting their Irish?
Yeah.
It's just not, it's terrible. So, am I mad? I'm not mad about it. I'm going to learn from it. And so what are the lessons I learned? First of all, I got to eat a well-balanced diet. I can't just have French fries every day or pizza every day. You got to have a well-balanced diet to be healthy, because more people died from diseases, not starvation itself. Mm-hmm. And in the gardens, and this is a gardening show, please use disease-resistant varieties in your crops, okay? So how do I know if it has disease resistance? Look at the package description. If it resists diseases, it'll tell you if that variety is resistant. If it doesn't say it, then it probably doesn't resist diseases. In general, get a modern F1 hybrid. That's one of the best things about hybrids, is they're more likely to resist diseases. If possible, next one, rotate your crops. Like these guys are planting potatoes, and they're building up the diseases. So if it's feasible, like if you just have a little garden, I can say, okay, move your tomatoes over 2 feet. It's not going to make a difference.
Right. But
let's say you got a series of raised beds. Maybe I can grow my tomatoes in the raised bed this year. Of course, I'm going to have a companion basil with it. And then maybe the beans in the next raised bed, and then my cabbage in the next raised bed, and then I'll rotate them.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't build up
Smart.
disease. And also, don't rely on politicians to solve your problem. And again, this problem was made worse by the British politicians. I have no offense to North Dakota politicians. One of the best things about North Dakota politicians is that part-time.
Yeah.
And when you meet them, they have a lot of common sense, because they have to make a living, too, not just on politics. But in general, I learned from this, you can't rely on the government to solve a problem like this when you can do something yourself. Okay, here's one thing we learned the Irish say about politicians. A person who has a full belly does not understand the needs of the hungry. Okay? So, again, I'm going to take charge of what I can and not rely on the government itself. The government itself can help. And a lot of the English politicians tried to help, but sometimes they were just incompetent.
Yeah.
Or it was just sad.
Very sad.
But I'm not gonna be sad. I'm gonna take charge, because I'm gonna keep love in my heart and make something happen. I'm gonna take action, because the Irish poet Wilde said, "Keep love in your heart. A life without love is like a sunless garden when the flowers are all dead." So don't be sad about the famine. Learn from it. Take charge. Don't be like this Rebecca in the shade. Don't live your life like a dead flower. Instead, be bright. Take charge. Make things happen. Grow a hunger-free garden. Share with your friends. Share the produce with your family. Share it with the food bank. Heck, everybody in North Dakota needs to eat more vegetables. Or literally, 93% of the adults need to eat more vegetables.
Yeah.
And 99% of our teenagers need to eat more vegetables. And so when you take charge and you show love, there's a saying, it's easy to half the potato that you have when you have love. So share. Fill yourself with love and take action. So, lesson from St. Patrick's Day. Be happy today. Okay? Take charge as a gardener. Be happy. Celebrate. Celebrate our heritage. Our heritage. That's because everybody is Irish today. We can all celebrate today. Celebrate our heritage. Celebrate our family. Celebrate our friends. And celebrate life. Because in Ireland, a light heart lives long. There you go. That's what I got to say.
Wow. Those were some words of wisdom today.
Yeah,
not
mine.
Not yours, but from your family, your heritage.
You got that right. And it's a rich heritage. It's an old heritage, and they have a lot of beautiful sayings.
I would agree with that.
So, actually, I'm going to, that's one of my, after doing this talk, I'm going to really be more aggressive in sharing my harvest. So,
there you go.
Got to take charge. Got to make things happen.
Yeah. And like you said, those hunger-free gardens, great way to do it.
Yeah, and it's okay just to share with your neighbor or share with your family, because we all need more healthy food.
That's true.
Okay, it doesn't have to be like a grand gesture that I'm, growing an acre of zucchini for the food bank. It's, I just want to open up, and Irish are full of love, and Blarney both. There you go.
Both can be true, right?
You got it. Those are our fighting words. We're full of love, and we're full of Blarney. Let's fight about it.
There you go. Well, I think with that, we'll conclude today's episode, and we just want to say thank you to anybody who's joined us, and as always, we hope you join us in future episodes.
Dakota Growing is a gardening show brought to you by Dakota Media Access and NDSU Extension. We discuss a variety of timely topics pertaining to your landscape, along with giving you tips and advice for your lawn, garden, and trees. If you have questions, call 701-221-6865 or email ndsu.burley.extension@ndsu.com. Dakota Growing airs on Radio Access 102.5 FM, Community Access Channel 12 or 612 HD, or online at freetv.org.